Hello everybody and welcome to a review of our Jumputi predictions bingo board from the start of this year, from New Year time, when I made a prediction of all the stuff I thought would be coming this year. I got some hits, I got some misses. I mean, we're going to go through it all, and we're going to talk about, do I see these characters coming? Was I a bit a bit too optimistic or a bit too overzealous, or I don't know. Let's take a look. So, I got my bingo board. That's why it's all like checkerboarded and stuff. My bingo board's going to be right there. And we're going to start off with the top left, with the first position. And that is Kyojiro Rengoku from Kimetsu no Yaiba. Obviously a massive hit because he did get released. He was a limited unit in the Kimetsu no Yaiba event. And I own him. I do own him, so I'm pretty gassed about that. I'm not at all surprised they did a big Kimetsu no Yaiba event. Obviously, why I predicted him is because, straight up, I had a feeling that they knew how much it was popping off and that they had to make an event on it. They made a substantial event on it, which I'm very grateful for. And we got Rengoku, so can't complain. And that is one ticked off. Box number 2 is Hinata Hyuga from Naruto. Again, another tick. I didn't get the specific unit or the specific version I think I wanted, but we did get Hinata. She did get added, and can't really complain. I mean, a Naruto event was kind of a gimme. Like it was a given that we would get a Naruto event. When it would be, I didn't exactly know, but we did get it, and it was pretty much what I expected, so it's fine, you know. It's Naruto events are what Naruto events are, and it's not going to be the only Naruto content we get this year, I can assure you. So another one ticked off. We're off to a great start. So let's move on to the first one I didn't get, which is Chad from Bleach. Sadly, we haven't had a Bleach event. Somehow we've had 2 Ichigos in 2020, sort of, but we've had no Bleach event. I say sort of because Mugetsu's a New Year unit, so whether he counts as 2020 or 2019, I think he technically came out in 2020. So that's up to your discretion. But we've had a new Ichigo, we've had... Fuck, what else would we have from Bleach? Kisuke Urahara, and... I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Rengiku Matsumoto, Gin Ichimaru. No Chad. No Chad. Still no Chad. Sad time to be alive. But I'm pretty confident we're going to get a Bleach feature festival at some point. So maybe he can just squeeze his way in. It's kind of a symptom of how the feature festivals work, where they don't necessarily have to focus on a specific part of the story, but typically they will put units that kind of fit together. Like, for example, the My Hero Academia feature festival that's on right now. They've put the Deku from the festival. They've put the Nejire and the Tamaki. They haven't. They could have put like a Momo or somebody from like Class 1A, and they still haven't done that. We still don't have any of those characters, you know. We don't have loads of them. We don't have Kaminari, we don't have Momo, obviously. We don't have Belly Button Boy. We did get Jiro, which again made sense because it was part of it was themed around the festival that was going on. You know, they had Gentle, so it made sense. It sort of made sense, but it means that certain characters still have not been added and may not be added for quite some time. And I have a feeling Chad's going to kind of fall into that bracket. Even though you could say he features in basically every arc in Bleach. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I just spoke about it, My Hero Academia. We still do not have Yao Momo, which is a surprise. To be fair, I am kind of surprised. With Chad, I kind of thought, yeah, it would make sense if they didn't add him. But with Momo, I thought if we got a My Hero Academia event, which I was damn sure we were going to get, I thought we would get her. Instead, they went with the big 3, which I guess makes, I don't know. To me, it's just such a weird choice, sort of. Like, it's not a weird choice because you can sell those characters, but I don't know. When I think of My Hero Academia, those characters don't really come to mind. So them being standard gacha units for that series is odd. It's odd, but you know, she's a definite option for being added later. She features in enough parts of the story, so we'll see. And next up we have Chichi from Dragon Ball. We did get a Dragon Ball event. It was quite big. Still no Chichi. She'll probably get added eventually, but I think she's not going to get added this year. This is the first one on the list where I think her getting added this year seems very unlikely at this point. You know, Chad could sneak his way into the Bleach event. Yao Momo could be put in, like, basically any ensemble. I wouldn't necessarily say Chichi couldn't make it into an ensemble, but I feel like they would want to do like a classic Dragon Ball event or something like that, and that would be the way to add her and add Tien and characters like that. Sadly, it just looks like that's not going to happen. So that's the first one on the list. It's probably not going to happen. And next up we have Cascade. This was a bit of a optimistic guess to begin with, but still an outside possibility, still a chance in an ensemble or whatever. It could happen, but right now it would be kind of hard for me to say I definitely see it happening this year, because I don't. And we'll speak about why when I talk about the next character, which is Hideo from Siren. I don't necessarily not see him being added. Here's the problem. We were told there was going to be 3 new series added to the game this year. They said early 2020. They said Boruto, Buso Renkin, and We Never Learn. We have had none of those. We have had none of those. And I would say, typically speaking, because of the way the game's development cycle works, where they're always developing content at 6 months to a year ahead of when it's actually going to be released, you have to look at where the game is 6 months to a year ago to where it is today. So that's why I think we got a string of feature festivals, because 6 months to a year ago on this game is the point where the game kind of slowed down a bit, because they were releasing certain events that are not quite as profitable. So they make a load of feature festivals so that in 6 months to a year, they know they're going to make loads and loads of money off of that. They made their money off Kimetsu no Yaiba, they made their money off My Hero Academia, so on and so forth. However, once they made their money, they can do celebration events because they've hit certain download milestones because loads of people have come and played their game. So that's when they start putting in characters from slightly more out there series, like Aimi from Shadow Girl. Which is why I think this latter part of the year could have a lot of ensembles. Potentially Hiryu gets in there. Potentially Cascade gets in there. I wouldn't rule it out. However, we have been promised 3 new series that still have not been added. So, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think we're going to have to wait it out and see if we're even going to get any other new series beyond those 3. Or any substantial content from new series from those 3. Because you've got to remember, okay, yes, Cascade is not from a new series. We do have Midori no Makibao. But we had 1 event for it and it was forgotten forever. So if Cascade is going to be added, it's going to be a part of one of these ensembles where they're featuring a bunch of different stuff. As for Hideo, Siren not only needs to get added, but it needs to have like 2 to 3 characters, because he's not going to be the first one added. So unless it gets like a mini event or something, I think that one's probably a loss. Moving on to the next one, we have Bokuto from Haikyuu. I still believe we will get a Haikyuu event this year, and I still believe that Bokuto will feature. I'm hoping he will feature. Haikyuu's just so popular. Haikyuu's so popular. Why wouldn't they? And there was supposed to be an Olympics this year, so he could have featured in like an Olympics summer feature festival thing. That's obviously not happening now, so what will they do? I don't know. What will they do? I don't know. But I still think there's going to be like a summer sports thing, because even if we were still in complete lockdown by the time summer rolls around, like full on summer, like August time, I think they can still do an event like, you're stuck indoors, but the fun never ends on Jumputi, come play some sports characters or whatever. So Bokuto could definitely see happening. Next up is Aoi Yume. Realistically, she hasn't, like, Wingman has one unit, bro. Wingman got added with one unit, and that series has not been touched since. Aoi Yume seems like a character that should already be in the game. Either like a 4-star Awaken to 6-star, or like a second gacha unit or something. It feels like she should already be in the game. So I know Wingman is like an old series, it's not that popular by today's standards, and it's you know, why would they feature that instead of whatever? But the thing is that Aoi Yume feels like a character they would have already made. They just haven't released yet. The problem with a lot of the characters they did that with is that they have since changed their style for the chibis, for the sprites. And so, if the style has changed, then they're going to have to go back and update the old sprites before they can release them. So if she does get added, maybe they already had her made and they had to update her sprites, and maybe like some of it was already like okay, but some of it needed some tweaking. I could see her coming. I don't think this prediction was that bad. It could have been worse. Moving on, we have Sassicaia Ryohei. I am so gutted. Because we did get a Katekyo Hitman feature festival, and we got a whole bunch of content, and I was so happy, and I got all the units, and it was so good. No Sassicaia Ryohei. He did not get added. That's not to say he couldn't be added in a number of other ways in the future. They could save him for another Katekyo Hitman Reborn feature festival. He could feature in, again, I said they did like a sports event. He could feature as some kind of like boxing event character. Like that. There's loads of things they could do with him, but he didn't make the cut, and I don't think he's going to be added this year. I think Katekyo Hitman Reborn's probably got as much content as it's going to get. Maybe it gets 1-2 units again towards the end of the year or something, but I think that's about it. So sad, but it is what it is. Moving on, we have Rizu Ogata from We Never Learn. She's going to be added this year, so it's not even a debate. We don't know when. That being said, I don't actually know that, because technically they could just add like Nariyuki or something like that. They don't necessarily have to add her, but I don't know why you would bother touching this series if you're not going to add like the main love interest characters. It doesn't make any sense for the series. So if you're not going to add Rizu, you're not going to add I would say the other 2 girls. I wouldn't go much further than the main 3. If you're not going to add the main 3, there's no point. There's just no point. So she's going to get added. Just got to wait and see. Another new series next. Denji from Chainsaw Man. This series is popping off. Like I said at the start of the year, I'd love to see him. Great series, and it's gaining popularity. Now people are talking about it all the time. And it's great. It's so good. You have to read it if you haven't read it, because it's so, like, it's just so off. It's just so off when it comes to storytelling. Like, there's some, like, really serious moments. There's some, like, this guy's an idiot moments. That, like, it's beautiful. It's perfect for a series that Shonen Jump needed right now. It's perfect for that, because it's not a traditional battle shonen. It's not a traditional horror. It's not a traditional gag. It's kind of just doing its own thing, marching to the beat of its own drum. Great series. I would love to see Denji added. Still no confirmation. And the new series this year so far, we've had... what have we had? What have we had? We had Isube Monogatari for New Year. Bro, have we had anything else? I can't remember. I can't think of anything else. Straight up can't think of anything else. I think that might be it. So yeah. I don't know. I like I said, I think my theory is correct. I think the latter half of the year will have more new series. Not a lot, but maybe not just the 3 that were announced. Maybe like 6, 7. Maybe Denji is among those. I hope. If they were going to do a Halloween event, which they didn't do last year, Denji please. And thank you. Next up, one I got right. Let's go, boys! Date Omito! And I've got him, and he's actually a good unit. So that's top from the devs. I love that. I don't know what else there is to say. I would like more content from Otokojuku, because it's one of those series where if you've read it, it just oozes manliness. And when they try and put that into this tiny little chibi sprite, it's quite funny. But Date's sprite does look good. I'm happy he got added. And that was a good guess, I guess. I mean, we did have a little bit of leaked information ahead of time that there would be more to Kojuku, so I made that assumption. And they actually used a version of Date from way later in the manga, like 200, 300 something chapters ahead of where I was predicting he would be added from. And I thought he would be a farmable unit, not gacha, but hey, not complaining. happy to see him added. All good. It's all good. Moving on. Ray from the Promised Neverland. We've had no The Promised Neverland content since Emma and Mama Isabella were added. How crazy is that? The series is coming to an end. I have some, I've had some people say they're really disappointed in the direction it's gone in the last arc, and the last few arcs, actually. I don't know. I don't mind it. I think it could have ended stronger, but I don't think it's that bad. You gotta remember, this is something people don't get. You look through the chapters of Shonen Jump over the years. Shonen Jump series rarely gets a good ending, a genuinely good ending. It's normally lukewarm or terrible. The chances of you seeing a series that you love be good from start to finish is slim to none. And even if you enjoy the ending, the general consensus typically will be that this was a bad ending, or this was a weird ending, or this was a mediocre ending. Like, it doesn't happen. Okay, Shonen Jump series getting good endings. It's so rare, so rare. So, hey, even if you're one of the people that thinks TPN dropped off or whatever, I still think the anime is gonna bang when we get season 2. I was quite happy with the story as a whole. I think it was more interesting at the start, but I still think it was fine. It was a fine ending. I was still reading it each week, and I still am. It hasn't quite finished yet, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And as for Ray being added, I think with the end of The Promised Neverland coming up, I still think this is an outside possibility for 2020. I think he definitely could be added. Whether he will or not, ooh, I don't know. The tricky part is you could throw him in any ensemble, but The Promised Neverland kind of deserves a feature festival. Whether they would actually do it or not, I don't know. But the fact that Kimetsu no Yaiba got a pretty feature and a feature festival, and The Promised Neverland got nothing. I know Kimetsu no Yaiba did just fly off in popularity after the anime announced or got released, but Promised Neverland did bits. Okay, Promised Neverland did bits. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. So next up we have Fukuda from Bakuman. We've had no new Bakuman content since Akita Takagi was added, so I'm still hoping. I'm still out here hoping. I love Bakuman. I don't see it happening this year, to be honest. They just seem to have forgotten it exists. Even some series like Shokugeki no Soma getting new units after ages, like I think Erina and Alice being released, like, I think it was like before that it was it Megumi before that, or was it version 2 Hayama before that? But it was like over a year. But like with Bakuman, again, well over a year, still nothing. So I don't necessarily see it happening anytime soon. The difference between this and like Promised Neverland has the recency bias, Bakuman doesn't. So it would just be if somebody in the dev team was like, yo, we haven't had much Bakuman recently. Could happen. Don't necessarily see it. Next up, Hiko Seijiro. He got added, lads. Let's go. I was so gassed that I got this one right because he made so much sense as a limited, and they fucking did it. And they made him counter a free Kenshin. They gave a Kenshin away for free. That's great. Having some of these units like farmable or like newer sprites available for these like protagonists, I love that shit. I love it when they do that. I know some people get really bogged down with the V2s, and I totally get that. But sometimes you just need something available that's like, hey, I know this version 1 Kenshin looks a bit weird, or this version 1 Midoriya looks a bit weird. Here's another one. Fuck it. Here's another one. It looks way better. So, really gassed about that. He is still one of the best units in the game. It's dope. It's dope. Nothing much else to say. It's dope. Next up, we have Panther from iShield 21. We've had no iShield 21 content since the first anniversary. Come on, guys! That's not true. That's not true. We had Congo Agon for PE Day, Physical Education Day or something. But he didn't even get a full event. That was so weird. It was like farm his coins and summon him from a gacha. And then he vanished off into the sunset, never to be seen again. Come on, guys. Give us more iShield 21. Just give us an iShield 21 feature festival, or like some kind of sports ensemble feature festival. Put Panther in there, and then my prediction's correct and I win. That's all I'm looking for. I will say, iShield 21 not having much content since you know, when did Kokoagon? It hasn't quite been a year yet, I don't think. But you know, them not having content for that long, I'm hoping that just means that they're building up content, because we know for a fact they have at least 3 iShield 21 characters finished. Their sprites still look good now, and they're unreleased. There has to be an iShield 21 feature festival coming. There has to be. Surely. And we found those ages ago. We found those fucking ages ago. So, hey, iShield 21 feature festival. You can add some more Damon Devil bats in the gacha. You can have Panther as a farmable unit. Bro, that would bang! Moving on. Tessa Kakuni Mitsu. One of the first on here that I would say I am genuinely surprised we have not had, because they promised us more content from 3 series: Assassination Classroom, Otokojuku, and The Prince of Tennis. And we have had more content for all 3 of those series, but Otokojuku got more than the others. And I thought for sure Prince of Tennis was going to get a feature festival. I was so sure. And Tezuka just makes sense. Even you can even throw him in an ensemble, sports event, anything. Like he's the captain. If you want to do an event based around captains, he's the captain. Like if you want to do an event based around geniuses, he's a genius. If you want to do an event based around leaders, he's a leader. Like, you could do. There's so much you can do, and he hasn't been added. I really thought we would have him right now. Like maybe again, like I said, sports characters. Maybe summer is their time. I don't know. How have we not had Tezuka yet? That's crazy. That's great. Like, at least with Panther, you can say he's not like a main character. He participates in a couple of arcs as an antagonist. Not really an antagonist, but an opponent. Tezuka's like a main character, bro. We've had 2 Atobe. We've had no Tezuka. That's crazy. And another sports series, Aomine from Kuroko no Basket. How have we not had more Kuroko no Basket content? To be fair, we've had little bits here and there. We had like Kisei Ryota and Murasaki Bara since launch. Do we have any others? I can't remember, but I feel like we should have more. It's weird. I don't necessarily care that we haven't had more, because it's it's a good series. I did enjoy reading it, but it's not like my top 10. It's not even my top 5 like sports series, you know. But the fact that we haven't had more, it's a little bit odd. I think it's a little bit odd. That's my opinion. But we know for a fact. There are slots left open in the IDs, in the data, for the rest of the generation of miracles. And they still haven't been added. What the fuck? What's going on? What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. Next up we have Yui Kotegawa from To Love Ru. For a little while there, they were kind of releasing bits of To Love Ru content here and there for... I don't know, we had Run, was it Run or was it Ran? I can't remember. There's Run we had. And we had like Mikan was released, and I'm trying to think of all the others. Like we had Momo, but we also had Summer Momo. Like we actually had like quite a lot. I thought they were just going to continue that trend, but she hasn't been added. Maybe for summer. I keep saying maybe for summer, but like, you know, it's a Japanese anime gacha game. Summer means swimsuits kind of means To Love Ru. I'm just saying, could happen. That's when we got that Lala. We got the Momo. It's an outside possibility. I'm surprised she hasn't been added already. I'm hoping she's standard gacha, but we will have to wait and see. And last on this line is it's Shun from Saint Seiya, who is in the Taiwanese version, is not in the Japanese version. This is a good opportunity for me to mention that the Taiwan version is catching up. The Taiwan version, in terms of content, is missing from JP. It hasn't had the Dragon Ball event. It hasn't had the My Hero Academia event. And obviously, there's a thing with JoJo where JoJo can't be put on the Taiwan version. So there's no JoJo. But they have had the Saint Seiya event. And they're also getting little bits here and there that we don't have. They've got this special, like, this event you can do every day where you get these, like, point things and you can spend them in a store. And it's like a permanent edition to buy. Stuff like evolvers and scrolls and boosters, like books. And they've also got this new thing coming up called Sprout Island. And, well, that's all the beginner content available permanently. So beginner stages, they've got the special evolver stages, they've got the stuff like Tengen and Masayoka available as like permanent farmable characters. So they're kind of one-upping they're kind of one-upping the JP server. But we obviously don't know what we're getting next. However, Taiwan is not only catching up, but each event they're releasing is slightly shorter than ours. Which means, say for example, the Kimetsu no Yaiba event they have on right now, that's like 1 to 2 days shorter than it was when it was on JP. Then, if they do the same with Dragon Ball and the same with My Hero Academia and whatever comes next, so on and so forth, within the next, I don't know, 3 months, they will be fully caught up. That deficit will be fully caught up. And then we'll be releasing content at the same time. Not including JoJo, obviously. But yeah, so something Taiwan's got that we don't have is obviously Shun. I would like Shun. Shun was a free unit on Taiwan. I don't know. It could happen this year. It could happen, potentially. Next up, we have Ken from Captain Tsubasa. No Tsubasa content. That surprised me a little bit, because like we got a few feature festivals this year, like Hoshinengi and stuff, that I didn't necessarily see getting a feature festival soon. But Captain Tsubasa, I felt like was due one. I felt like we were due a feature festival, and we didn't get one. And I don't know, I think, was Ken necessarily likely from all the characters available? Maybe, maybe not. But I feel like, personally, Captain Tsubasa should be getting an event, right? Like, I don't know that much of the series, but you just have to look at the sheer numbers of chapters, the crazy popularity, especially, like, I think in Europe and in South America, it's, like, crazy popular. Not to mention in Japan. I mean, I'm just a little bit surprised we haven't had more content for it. We had, like, a one super mini event it got, and it got like a similar sized event to Hinamaru Zumo, who also had a super mini event at that time. Like, how can you put those two series on the same level? I love Hinamaru Zumo. You can't put those on the same level. You just can't. So is Ken likely? No. Is a Captain Tsubasa event likely? Yes. That's all there is to say. Moving on. Hinamaru Zumo. I did mention Reina from Hinamaru Zumo. Look, if Hoshirengi can get an event, Hinamaru Zumo could get an event. That's all I'm saying. No, you know, I'm not trying to put one series above or below the other. Hinamaru Zumo is newer, so it has recency bias a little bit compared to Hoshirengi. So if it was gonna get a foot in, that'd be the case. But you know, Hoshirengi is more popular long term from its time, from its era. I'm waffling. I just want him and Hinamaru. That's all it is. That's all it is. You know, like, if they just want to give me Hinamaru Zumo, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say yes. Because I want it. That's that. There's nothing else to say. I don't care if the ending wasn't what everybody wanted. I don't care if the whole, like, post-time skip arc was kind of not what everybody wanted. I don't care. I liked it. So, I want it. That's that. That's that. Next up, we have Mankichi from Otokoki Ipikigaki Daisho. Now, this series, how has he not been added? He's like, he was one of the first characters in Ore collections. I thought, oh, well, like, yeah, he'll be added at some ensemble. Maybe they'll do an event like only characters from the 60s and 70s or something like that. They just didn't. They just didn't. So, look, the chance of him being added in the next 6 months is no different than the chance of him being added when I predicted him back in January. Could happen. Could happen. I got my fingers crossed that we're going to see some more diverse series being represented in the game, you know, because look, I know some people love their big popular battle shonen and stuff. I know you love seeing more Dragon Ball. I know you love seeing more My Hero Academia. Even Kimetsu no Yaiba. I love Kimetsu no Yaiba. I love seeing that content, but this game is more interesting when it's showing you stuff that you're not necessarily familiar with alongside stuff that you are familiar with. I like this series, but what's this series? That sort of thing. You know, and just seeing cool characters from that like we haven't got to see anything of, and it's like, whoa, what's this? What's he doing? What's he about? That's cool. I want to know more. That's what this game has always been about for me. So I want more of that. I want more of that. And if they could do that, that'd be great. If they can't, well, is what it is. It is what it is. Next up, we have the square where I got all three right. Hey, let's go. So the middle square was supposed to be like a gimme because we knew these three characters were planned. And sure enough, all three characters came. And Itachi and Mihawk were limiteds. And Ryzen was a Genkai battle. We knew they were coming, so there's really not anything to say here. That square is obviously ticked off. Next up, Kei Yanagi. She kind of has the same rules as all the other series I talked about, the new series. She could get added. She has more chance than say a Hiryu, you know, because she is the main character of her series. Act age has recency bias, kind of popping off. Once the anime is coming up, I mean, like, realistically, there'd be no reason not to add her. I would add her. I would add her this year. If I was going to do an ensemble, I would add her this year. 100%. 100%. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't know. Next up, Butcher Man. We did get some Dr. Slump content this year. We got Dr. Mashirito as obtainable
from a Unity battle. Or was he already obtainable? I can't remember. I don't think he was. Maybe he was. It doesn't matter. we got a New Year's Arale. And I think that's it. So we did get some Dr. Slump content to start off the year, but obviously we already knew about that when I made the original checklist. So this was me theorizing that in the future, maybe we get more. And, well, we haven't. But we haven't had that many ensembles this year. So the idea of him being thrown in for something, anything, it could happen, but would they go for Dr. Slump? I don't know. I'd say he's not that likely. Honestly, I don't think he's that likely. Compared to, like, say for example, Kiyanagi. She's a pro tag. Her series is popping right now. Like, it's just a gimme to add her, because people will pull for her. Like, a Butcher Man, not necessarily. People might pull for him, or, want to get him as a farmable unit, but it's not as a given. It's not as obvious. So I'm gonna say probably he's not that likely. Next up, Duke Devlin. Look, I think the fact that we haven't had a Yu-Gi-Oh event this year is kind of bullshit. We have had Kaiba, and I think that's it. We had New Year Kaiba. That's it. That's all we had. Why can't we have a Yu-Gi-Oh feature festival? We had a Yu-Gi-Oh Pooty feature. Why can't we have a Yu-Gi-Oh feature festival? Look, they already did that with Kimetsu no Yaiba. They had the Pooty feature in the feature festival. Do the same with Yu-Gi-Oh and we cool. I could totally see that happening in the back end of this year. Maybe like October. Yu-Gi-Oh feature festival. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Moving on to the next line. We have Mikoto Ayura from Psyche K. I don't think we've had any Psyche K content this year either. So I don't think she's particularly likely. Even if they were going to add Psyche content, I don't think she would be top of the list. But a man can dream. A man can dream for like a small little... Look, if they're going to do a Sensei feature, I think he's got a few under his belt, the author of Psyche K. Possibly, even one of those series, or at least a series he did, was in one of the votes. I won't rule it out. I know we've only had the one Sensei feature, but you just gotta believe. You just gotta believe. Next up is Matora from Yuna's Haunted Hot Springs. We've had no Yuna content since Kogarashi was released. I think that is blasphemy. We should totally have a Yuna event. I know, again, the series is coming to its climax. Whether it's going to end in the way people want or not, I don't know. They're kind of doing the same thing that We Never Learned did, where they're showing you scenarios of what it would be like if your favourite girl won. But obviously, they have more girls than We Never Learned, so it's like a bit shorter. You maybe get like 1 or 2 chapters per like little flash forward what it would be like sort of thing. And it's not quite the same. Do I think Matora will be added if we do get a Yuna event? Not necessarily. But I'm hoping she does. She totally makes sense as like a transcendent or something. But we shall see. Do I think a Yuna event will come this year? Yo, like, we didn't get a Halloween event last year. Yuna's Hot Spring is haunted. Like, why not? Why not? I'm just saying, why not? Next up. Fugen Shinjin. We did get a Hoshin Engi feature festival. But no, we did not get Fugen Shinjin. That's a shame. However, he could be... No, I don't think we're getting any more Hoshin Engi content this year. I'm sorry. I know we got Daki and Okijin and... Who else did we get the first time around? Kokibi, the first time around. And then we got the Hoshin Engi Feature Festival. So you can't fully rule it out because clearly somebody liked Hoshin Engi in the dev team. I don't know. I'd like to see him added. Hoshiningi didn't even get a limit. Hoshiningi still does not have a limit. So that's kind of like, you know, they could have... I'm just saying, could have another little event somewhere. Could happen. Will it be this year? I do not think so. I think we missed the boat. If he was going to get added, it probably would have been in that feature festival. So it's a shame, but it is what it is. Next up, we have Kaya Miyoshi from Bakuman. I already talked about Bakuman. No Bakuman content. We've had none. So please add her. Have a Bakuman event at some point. I think if we're going to have a Bakuman feature festival, it's going to be at the start of next year. I think if we're going to have any feature festivals for like a series that was popular but isn't talked about much anymore, it's going to be start of next year, not this year. But you never know. You never know because, I mean, we got a couple at the end of last year. It's like, I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame. I put 2 back-to-back characters on. We haven't had any. It sucks. Next up, we have Madoka from Kimagure Orange Road. Once again, new series. We still haven't had the new series that we were promised before. But that's kind of following the trend of last year where we didn't have much in the way of new series until Hibari got released, I think. And then after that, we had like 3 or 4 or 5 new series. Not a lot of content from those series, but we did have it, so... Possibly. Possibly. But Kimagure Orange Road has had no presence on any of the Jump games, so I don't expect her this year, but I wouldn't rule it out. Like, especially with Hibari being added on the back end of a feature festival last year, you could do the same again with Madoka. You could do that. There's nothing stopping you. I'm just saying, there's nothing stopping you. Next up, Will Zappelli. How long has it been? How many squares has it been since I got one right? Like, since the middle square. Will Zappelli. He has been added. He is a standard gacha unit. Not much JoJo so far this year, but I think realistically a lot of people are expecting Part 5 to be added. Logically, if they're going to add Part 5, it will be in the next month or so. And the reason I say that is because they will want to... if they're trying to get the games to catch up and sync up with each other, they will want to release it while Taiwan is trying to catch up to JP. Because it's an event that's not going to be happening on Taiwan. So they release this one, they have, like, say, the Dragon Ball Feature Festival or whatever on Taiwan, or the My Hero Academia Feature Festival on Taiwan, and that's a full event they've caught up, because they're not going to add that JoJo event. So, could happen to get more content for JoJo. But yo, I'm happy I got that one right. I'm happy they added Will as well, because, you know, Part 1 potentially could have gone without getting much love for a very long time, so... shout out to them. Shout out to them. Next up, we have Kenichi from Moeru Onisan. It's unlikely, guys. It's unlikely. Same problem with all the other new series. Plus, this is a slightly more obscure one. So, I don't necessarily see it happening again. But then again, for New Year, we got Isobe Monogatari. Like, why couldn't you add Moeru on Isan? It's like the same thing, bro. It's the same caliber of series. Both of them are hardly translated into English because nobody cared. Like, come on. Come on. Alright. Next line. This one makes me a little bit sad. Zebra. We have had no fucking Toriko. We've had no Toriko content since Komatsu was added. Is that right? When was Medora added? Not Medora, Starjun. Starjun might have been after. I'm not too sure. But we had Starjun, Toriko, Komatsu, and the Medora Legend Summon. And then just nothing. Do you know how much content there is in Toriko? Do you know how many different forms there are of Toriko and Coco and Sunny and... Bro, how many different power-ups there are, how many different enemies you can put in, it's crazy. And we've had nothing. We've had nothing for so long. I'm just saying, if Zebra doesn't get added this year, that'd be kind of dead. That'd be kind of dead. Like, you could, Toriko Feature Festival would be so good. Throw that in. Again, it's another one that could be next year. could be like a start of the next year series that's slightly lower popularity, sandwiched out between a couple of like a big ensemble and like a big feature festival. Just put Toriko in there, and it's like, it's calm. It's a calm month for us. I could see it happening. I'm hoping it's this year, though. I am hoping it's this year. Kojiro from Fumano Kojiro. It's not happening. It's not happening. Unless we get a feature festival for Kurumada Sensei, and we get a bunch of stuff from Saint Seiya and other stuff. But then again, we still have a whole Saint Seiya feature festival that we have not had on Japan. So would this happen necessarily? I don't think so. I don't think it'll be this year. If he gets added, I don't think it'll be this year. Honmaru from Magical Tadanu Token. I could see him being added still. I don't think I was that far off on that one. I could still see him being added. Simply because, as far as an ensemble goes, that's the kind of character you would slip in there. And I reckon he's probably already finished. So, he's the kind of character you would slip into an ensemble, just because you're not going to get a Tadaruto feature festival, most likely. I couldn't see it happening personally. So, I don't think that's that bad a shout. I don't think it's that bad. Like, compared to some of the other ones, I don't think it's as bad. Personally. Some people might disagree. But next up, we got one we got right! Moishiro Tokito from Kimetsu no Yaiba. I'm happy he was added. We've kind of beefed out the amount of pillars we've got and like the Kimetsu no Yaiba roster in general. I'm just hoping that there is enough content in there for maybe 2 more Kimetsu no Yaiba feature festivals. Like, not straight away, but like in the next like few years. So we can see like the final arc, and we can see like some other fights and stuff. Like, because the thing is, I don't want to get into spoiler territory too much, but some of the best parts of the final arc and some of the best fights and some of the characters I want to see the most are not from the final battle. They're from before that. And I know that some people have complaints about the ending of Kimetsu no Yaiba. I get it. I can understand why you wouldn't be happy with it. And I think the final fight in particular, for me, it could have been better. But the lead up to that was crazy. And some of the series that you see that have a bad ending, it's not necessarily bad all round, but there's a general feeling of, it's kind of dead. It's kind of dead. Kimetsu no Yaiba, it was just hype fight after hype fight after hype moment after flashback after craziness. And then the ending maybe wasn't what everybody wanted. But the lead up, so good. So, I'm just saying, I'm happy we got Tokito, but I'm hoping for more Kimetsu no Yaiba content in the future. And I don't think that hope's in vain. I think that's definitely going to happen. Next up, we have Suika from Dr. Stone. We've had no Dr. Stone content since Senku was released. One character. How? How? Dr. Stone, to me, seems like a candidate for a feature festival. We had Black Clover towards the end of last year. I think Dr. Stone to the end of this year. Feature festival. They got loads of characters you could have as gacha, as events, as whatever. Just seems obvious. The fact that we haven't had any so far just speaks to me that they're saving them for a feature festival. That's what I have to think, because Dr. Stone is kind of popping, and we've had hardly any content for it. So that's what I'm saying. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. But I just don't know why we haven't had more. And the only reason I can think is because they're saving it for a feature festival for the end of 2020. And moving on to the next one. Ramen Man. We've had no Kinnikuman content this year. It's not necessarily a surprise, but like we had they celebrated Muscle Day or Meat Day. Was it Meat Day? I think it was Meat Day. And they brought back some Kinnikuman events, and they brought back Goldman's banner. Like, why wouldn't you do more Kinnikuman content? It's got loads. I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get Ramen Man. I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't get the Battle for the Throne arc as well thrown in there. But the roster we got for Kinnikuman is good. I would just I'd like to. it to get equal treatment to some of the other bigger series, because it is a massive series, it's just older. Like, I know some of these kids these days, they don't care about Kinnikuman, but it's a long fucking series, it's got a lot of great content, and you could adapt it. So, do I see Ramen Men happening? Sure. Kinnikuman Feature Festival number 2? Why not? Why the fuck not? Moving on to the last one on this list, or this row, we have Tensei Man from Lucky Man. We have actually had some Lucky Man content. Was it this year or was it end of last year? I guess it was this year. Well, we had Yonaoshi Man, end of last year, and then start this year we had the New Year Lucky Man. It could happen. It's very unlikely. It could happen, but it's very unlikely. I won't say much more about that. The next one, bro. As each day passes, this one becomes more likely. We have Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. As every day passes, it becomes more and more and more likely. How have we not had Jujutsu Kaisen yet? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But now we're getting an anime. Bro, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Have you seen some of the screenshots from that anime? It looks so good. It has to happen. Jujutsu Kaisen, even if it's just a small event, even if you're just adding Yuji in an ensemble, it has to happen. Has to happen. Next up, we have Takao Taniguchi from Play Ball. Again, I think I overplayed my hand. I think I should have known when to fold. Playball's probably not getting added this year. I mean, nah, let's not get our hopes up. Like, some of these older sports series, there's loads of baseball series in Weekly Shonen Jump. Playball is one of the more popular ones. But I don't necessarily see it happening. If they're going to add sports series, it's probably not going to be any of those. So, what are you going to do? And another series we need to talk about. We've got Sakura from Majima-kun Tsubasa, but it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, past me. It's not gonna happen. And next up, what the fuck was I thinking? We have Robota from Robot X Laserbeam. Am I mad? It's fucking Robot X Laserbeam. Am I mad? I think the theory was like a sensei feature, because then you could have more Kuroko no Basuke content without giving it a feature festival. I'm mad. It's not happening. It's not happening, bro. A golf series. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's just not. And next up, we have Hyusei from World Trigger. I am still confident that this is happening. I am still confident we are getting a World Trigger event at some point this year, or at least some World Trigger content in an ensemble, and Hyusei will be one of those characters. I am so confident. And next up, another character I got right! Hibari Kyoya from Katekyo Hitman Reborn. I knew it. I knew it. If they were going to do a series, feature festival, Katekyo Hitman Reborn, he was getting added, and I was right. And he's fucking good! They made him good! That was nice of them. I appreciate that. I don't know how much more Katekyo Hitman Reborn content we'll get in the future, but there's enough there that there could be another feature festival, another, they could be thrown in an ensemble or something, but yo, I'm just happy we got Hibari. I'm just happy. I knew it would happen, but I'm happy. And last, but not least, Sakuragi. Now, my theory for him was that we would receive Sakuragi as part of a 10 million download celebration, or as part of an Olympic sport feature festival. And then later we would get a Slam Dunk event. Now, to this day, we have not had any Slam Dunk content. Some people might be thinking, is there something wrong with the rights? Are we not going to get a Slam Dunk? Look, maybe. We have no way of knowing. Unless you're going to call the dev up yourself and ask, we have no way of knowing. They have mentioned Slam Dunk on streams before, not explicitly saying anything's going to be added, but they've used quotes from it, and they've read people's comments out, and they are aware that Slam Dunk is a desirable series, and we have not had it yet. what's happening with the download milestones, because we hit 7 million and we haven't had anything since. Bro, we have definitely gone past 8. We have definitely gone past 9. We might already be on 10. I say that because if you look at the sheer numbers on the Kimetsu no Yaiba event alone, and all the other big events we've had around that time, 100% we've hit that. And here's the thing, like I said, they work 6 months to a year ahead of time, which is why when they hit that 476 world record, Guinness Book World Record, that was last year, like in November, but we didn't get the event until this year because it takes time to make that shit. They're working 6 months ahead, so they were probably working on that before they officially got the record, and then they spent time up until that event came out next year. So my thoughts are that since that time we have hit download milestones, but the events were not finished. The events are going to be finished, or have already been finished, but they have not been released yet in the next few events. I think the next event potentially could even be the 8 million download milestone. So, do I have any proof or evidence of this? No. It's just my gut. That's all I got. It's just my gut. And you can choose to believe that, or you can choose not to. But, with that said, we have looked at our list. We've got our ticks, we've got our crosses. I mean, let's actually, can we, I don't know if that's really going to be possible. Let's see. We've got you. We've got you. We've got, ooh, first line didn't go very well, did it? We got you. I haven't chosen the best colour for this, I know. We've got you. Sort of got you. Got all 3 of you, big boy. Got you. Got you. Yikes! Is that really all I got? Oh my god. To be fair, some of these, like Yuji has to be added. How have we not had Toriko then? How have we not had Tezuka? Like, some of these have to happen. In general, this is a poor show from me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a poor show because we've easily, like, what we average like 8 to 10 characters per event, and we've had like we've had what, roughly an event every 3 weeks since the start of the year, and the year's almost half gone, so it's been like, what, 7 events, 8 events, something like that. So like 70 units, something like that. Something like 70 units. Like, these are just rough numbers off the top of my head, but that was kind of poor. That's kind of poor, especially because we knew some of these were coming already. That's kind of poor. Did I miss any? Did I miss any? I don't think I missed any. You're not giving myself Shun. I think Shun was already on the fucking game. I think Shun was already on the game when I put him on this list. I'll give it. Fuck it. Okay. Well, that's our list. What do I think is going to be next? Like I said, 8 million downloads probably if I get this event up tonight, because the event information is probably coming out tomorrow morning. And I don't know what else to say. Like, that was a bit of a stinker. I really thought I would have done better. It goes to show though, they really have focused on feature festivals at the start of this year. Like, we just had 3 feature festivals back to back. Like, it was like, I think feature festival. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to get my timeline correct. We had loads of feature festivals at the start of the year. We had like Hoshiningi, Naruto, Tekyo Hitman Reborn, Dragon Ball, Kimetsu no Yaiba, My Hero Academia. I can't remember any others. I think that might be all of them, but still, that's loads. That's loads for the start of the year. And we've only had like a couple of ensembles, so I think a lot of these characters were relying on ensembles, and we haven't had it. Some of these I can totally see being added this year. Other ones, I think I just missed the boat for this year. Like, if if we're being honest, don't think she's happening this year. Don't think you're happening this year. Don't think you're happening this year. Not happening this year. I mean, Bakuman could happen anytime. Not happening this year. 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 Like, some of these are an outside possibility, but I think if the series are never happening, never fucking happening, what was I thinking? Some of these are an outside possibility, though. Some of these are an outside possibility that, like, maybe they just barely. And some of these I think are definitely like look, fucking, you have to come this year. You have to. You have to come this year. You have to come this year. How have we not had you yet? How have we not had you yet? How have we not had you yet? Like, some of these have to happen. Bro. Has to happen. Tezuka has to happen. That's about it. So, what are my chances of clearing even one line? Because I did say I would do giveaways based on how many lines we clear. It's not looking good, lads. It's not looking good. Bro, it's so not looking good. What's the line I think has the best chance here? This is bad. The line has the best chance. See, I would have said, like, I would have said this line, but we don't have any characters from it yet except Tokito, so that's probably not great. It's got this line, maybe. I don't necessarily see Fukura happening, but all the rest I could see happening this year. I'm like even looking at the diagonals, like, oh, maybe, like, no. That diagonal is not bad. That could happen. That could happen. Bottom row is not happening because you're never getting added. Yeah, this row could happen. This row seems very unlikely this year, but those characters could be added at some point. This row is an outside possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think this row is probably my best bet. Maybe. I like this row. I could see it happening. There's a lot of potential in that row, but it's just you. I fucked up on you. This row's got too many characters I think I missed the boat on. This row, no, I don't think so. This row's not too bad. It could happen. We've already got 3 characters ticked off. The characters that are left aren't completely outrageous. Never know. Never know. This row, also not completely outrageous. Chichi could be a sticking point, but she could be out of an ensemble. You never know. This row's never happening because of Robota. What was I thinking? Am I mad? It's fine. We've been through it. We've been through it. This row's not happening. This row, unlikely, not impossible. And this row, I think I'd get very close, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, we've been through a lot. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions for the second half of the year? Do you think we're going to see some more feature festivals? Do you think it's going to be more of a focus on ensembles? Are we finally going to hit those milestones? And what kind of content do you want to see from Jumputi in the second half of the year? Because I've seen some people kind of getting stale on the formula, you know? It's kind of the same stuff each time. I know people want to switch up. If you want to switch up, what do you want to see? Because I know it's hard to try and conceptualize what you want
even though you know you're not being provided with what you want. I know that's a problem a lot of fans had on stuff like Dokkan and Ninja Blazing back in the day. I think nowadays they know what they want. Especially Blazing fans. Blazing fans have had time to think about what they want. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. How long was this? Oh, too long. But yeah, hopefully I'll get this up tonight, and then we'll find out what the next event is tomorrow, and you'll see an event video in the next day or so. So, see you guys next time.